Hello everyone, this is Scarzig and welcome back to Budget Hero. Last time I took a bit of a survey to see what you guys wanted me to do next, and it turns out that we get to have our cake and eat it too. The two choices were do a Gauntlet run or do some Songhai games, and it looks like we'll be able to do a Songhai Gauntlet. I know that this isn't as good as me doing the budget crafting and whatnot, but at least we'll be able to see a little bit of gameplay for now. And I mean, we just did Lionar, so this gives us a little bit of variety, right? So I again want to let you know that I have not played any Gauntlet, but hopefully I'll be able to see what the underlying value of these cards is. So we're going to get the Celestial Phantom here. Ion, I think, might have been a second choice, too. Ooh. This is tough. Because I think Ghost Lightning might be correct to kind of help us control the board. Actually, no. Widowmaker, because ranged units usually aren't answered as much in Gauntlet. Katara. Woodwind, I think, would be a really great follow-up choice, but I think Katara will be really nice for the backstab. If we can draft some Inner Focus. Wings of Paradise. Pretty decent. Inner Focus, there it is. Okay, ooh, Blistering Scorn. I think I pretty much have to take this. Second Wings of Paradise probably would have been really good too. Another, ooh, this is kind of tough. Do I want a Twin Strike, Katara, or Mist Dragon Seal? Drawing a card, helping clear out minions. You know what? I think we're just going to pick the Mist Dragon Seal. That's probably a mistake, but damn, they're really feeding us these Kataras. Let's just keep it going, I guess. Silverbeak probably might have been a good answer there, too. You know what? Let's go for Chakram. I think in Gauntlet, the ability to ramp out a 5/5 at 3 mana might be pretty strong. Although White Widow might be good too, because I do have Wings of Paradise, which kind of acts like Chakram already, where it becomes a 5/3 for 3. And then White Widow just gives us extra replace synergy. We're going to go for the Battle Pet, just because getting an extra spell, an extra card might be pretty good. I'm tempted to go Shadow Waltz, because I already have 2 Kataras, but I guess we'll just get 3. We'll flood the board early, maybe we'll start backstabbing stuff. Blade Seeker out of those 3. Zenrui, I think, is a really strong pickup. Storm Metal Golem. We already have a bunch of Kataras, so the Dragon Lark isn't as good. Gorehorn. Dancing Blades. Look at that. That is super strong in its own right. So this is pretty interesting. Veil Hunter might be a strong pickup. Rust Crawler might be interesting as well. I haven't even seen any artifacts in my drafts, but if anybody else has them, then the Rust Crawler might come through for me. And I mean, it's a 2 mana 2/3. So I mean, decent turn 1, I guess. And I think we're gonna Chakram or Gorehorn. I think since we have this is kind of tough. We're at 17 out of 31. You know what? Let's go with the Gorehorn, because it has the ability to increase its stats if it stays alive. It kind of functions like the Chakram. This is a tough choice too. Primus Shield Master is really strong, but I think because we have 3 Katara and, you know, Rings of Paradise stuff that's really going to be pushing damage through, and also a Widowmaker, I think that clinches the killing edge for us. Juxtaposition would be really, really strong for the Katara here. And Pandemonium isn't that great for us. Like, we can just... You just transform them until the end of the turn. It would be like just to remove a big provoke or something. So I guess we'll just go for the Juxtaposition. If there's anything huge we can't take care of, Juxtaposition can also serve as pseudo removal. Storm Metal Golem might be good because you could drop it on 6 mana as an 8/8, but at the same time, 7 mana War Talon probably just outright wins you the game in Gauntlet, right? Because your opponent's going to have such a hard time dealing with it. I could always consider the Ghost Lightning. They've offered quite a few for me. But I don't think it's that big a deal to get the Ghost Lightning because you only really need it versus Abyssian, and they most likely aren't going to be able to get a bunch of synergy going. So, looking at my curve, I do have a Storm Metal Golem already. Maybe pick up the War Talon just because we have a big beefy Provoke that might be able to bail us out. And then we'll try to not draft so heavy after that. Beastmaster, I think, is going to be really solid here. And then I want to try to get lower drops. Wow, another Katara. Sun Elemental might actually be pretty fun. Because if I flood the board with Kataras and then play the Sun Elemental to make them harder to remove. Because if I just get all of these Kataras, then, you know, I just eat through my hand playing a bunch of 1-drops that can't reliably trade. I don't have many 4-drops, so I think we're going to go with the Sun Elemental because we already have 3 Kataras, and that seems like really excessive to me. Look, another Katara. Like, if I took every single Katara that they offered me, I'd probably have, like, 7 of them or something. And then I would just be like, okay, hope you can't clear these 1/3s with whatever 2-drop in general you have. But Jade Monk, I think I'm going to take over that other Katara. Hero Puppy Dragon, really good. Especially since we'll be able to combine it with all the spamming we're about to be doing. We'll take the Moss, we can get a bit more control. Spiral Tech. Ooh, this is really tough. Spiral Technique would probably just win us a few games outright. Lantern Fox is probably going to get full value most of the time. And then Onyx Jaguar gives us the opportunity to just completely spiral the game out of control. Because our opponent might not be able to deal with it. This is a tough choice. There's probably an obvious answer, right? But, I mean, looking at my curve, I do have a lot of 3-drops. Well, no, not too many. Lantern Fox really worth it. The Phoenix Fire can kind of just help me burn my opponent down, keep control of the board. Spiral Technique just comes through as a late game finisher to win games out of hand. Really tough choice. I'm going to go with the Lantern Fox. You people who have more experience in Gauntlet probably know which one of those is most correct. Phoenix Fire. So this is starting to look a pretty decent, just like a real Songhai deck. We'll get the Blaze Hound here. Good body and draws us a card. Inquisitor Kron, we have to take that. So I think that we've been blessed. And because we have the Kataras, we're gonna go for the Kalios Zahn. Even though Riva being able to spawn 1/1 Heartseekers in Gauntlet is probably insane. But that's alright. So let's get into it. I'm really excited. There's a couple really hard choices. And there's going to be a game, right, where I'm going to be like, damn, if only I had Spiral Technique instead of Lantern Fox. But I mean, if you play the Lantern Fox and it gets both Phoenix Fires and you send both Phoenix Fires to face, then, you know what I mean? It's almost like you got a Spiral Technique anyway. Ooh, so going second is really good for this deck because we have some pretty strong 3-drops. I could probably just open with Wings of Paradise and be done with it. Sun Elemental, I think I want to hold on to it because I do have the ability to put a bunch of Kataras down. But I think, you know, I don't have too many spells, so I think that just this spread of minions is going to be really strong for us. I wonder if I want to open up with the Wings of Paradise or the Widowmaker. He doesn't play anything. Let's... Actually, it's probably better to just move forward and play the Gorehorn. That way I can ramp up and then drop the Beastmaster. Or if I replace one of these and get a 2-drop, I can go or Katara, then I can go 4, 5, and then give them extra HP. I didn't want to go absolutely insane with the Kataras, but if I picked up a bunch of them, then I'd probably have really, really solid early game. Obelisk, not bad. So I can actually just ramp up 4, 5, 6 this turn. And then I can just play the Wings of Paradise back here and the Widowmaker back here. Yeah, seems good. And we got the White Widow to follow up with, although Sun Elemental is going to be my next play, for sure. Got a good spawn here with the Wind Dervish. I probably should have... It doesn't matter, because if he would have gotten the Dervish spawning here, he could have traded into the Wings of Paradise. If he would have gotten the Dervish here, would have traded into the Wings of Paradise if it was here. So... That boosts the Veil Hunter up to a 2-3, so my Widowmaker can't kill it, but I got the Phoenix Fire. Nice. Okay. That's pretty decent. He's going to use the Psionic Strike. He still takes that 3 damage from Gorehorn. I take 3 damage. Okay, so things come out pretty even for me. I can use the Wings of Paradise to take out the Fireblaze Obelisk. Yeah, I've got 5. Man. Because I can just Phoenix Fire this. I guess I just want to get my hands on another 3-drop. Oh, yes, indeedy. Let me get my hands on another 3-drop. So we Phoenix Fire that. Play the Lantern Fox. The Wings of Paradise comes down here. We take out this Fireblaze Obelisk. And the Widowmaker goes. Look at that. Look at that. And this Lantern Fox is just going to develop for us and do work. Celestial Phantom, I think, is maybe Sleeper OP. I'll just develop that, and I'll use it to... Ooh, yeah, there we go. I think we pretty much drew the best that this deck had to offer, especially going second. Nice. Okay, so we got to level 11, and we get Riva Eventide. Wow. Getting all kinds of stuff. So easy squeezy. Play. Alright, yeah, we still got time. I started my timer after I was done drafting, so this video might be a bit longer than normal overall, but I didn't want to include the drafting time. I'm still going to be shooting for like 30-ish minutes of actual gameplay, and that'll allow people to skip the draft and not feel too bad about it. Okay, so right off the bat we get Katara, Juxtaposition. We'll replace the Beastmaster, and we'll just keep the Wings of Paradise, I guess. Hamon Bladeseeker I think is going to be really powerful, because if you can play that on curve, your opponent has a very low chance of stopping it. Okay, cool. We got some synergy going here. Ooh, damn. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is Jade Monk and then Juxtaposition to bring the Crimson Oculus. Swap the Jade Monk out, that is to say, and then get the Crimson Oculus going. I could also then inner focus the Wings of Paradise to fly it to a safe spot. And that would just be disgusting, right? Well, no, I wouldn't have enough mana for that, so. Hmm. Yeah, this will allow me to keep the Katara safe. Katara has backstab 3, so I get to kill this Crimson Oculus. Nice. Yeah, I think we'll just do it like this. Because what this does is gives me access to all these mana tiles, and then I can just ramp and play Blade Seeker next turn. And I still have the Katara threatening. Ooh, that's not too shabby. And the fact that these are battle pets, I can just exploit that and have them attack the Jade Monk instead. Yeah, so I can move down, play the Amon Blade Seeker on curve. I think we'll do it like this. And because, let me see, if I move the Katara down and away, then the Jade Monk is the closest unit, right? And then the Ubo will just trade into the Jade Monk. Okay, I like that. That's how it works, right? Did I properly manipulate the Battle Pet AI? Boom. Woo. And I do have the Blink available, so the Haman is really strong for us because he's not going to be able to walk away from it or body block. And then the Jade Monk got a 2-for-1. So what I can do is move the Katara, inner focus it, and then blink, have it kill the healing mystic, and then the Haman Blade Seeker can just walk up and punch him. I also have the killing edge to follow up alongside that. Let me see, that'll be 3-4. Yeah, I think that's going to be our play. Then we drop the big damage. Gauntlet run. And I think a lot of the picks that I did, I hope I articulated enough while I was doing my draft. Some of them, some of the picks were really obvious. Like I have a fucking Inquisitor Kron in this deck. That's actually fine by me because he dispels the Haman Seeker's effect where it does 2 damage to me. So now I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well played. Yeah. Yeesh. Haman Blade Seeker. That's not something you really see nowadays. That used to be mid-range Kalios' trump card, where you play the Haman Blade Seeker on curve, and then your opponent can't deal with it, and then it just instant wins you the game. But if you do that on ladder, more often than not, your opponent's going to have some kind of removal for it, right? And then you just get completely wrecked.
Songhai versus the Vitruvian.
Because when you pay 5 mana and your opponent just deals with it with the cheaper card, then you lose so much tempo. So we're going to keep the Hamon again. He can do Katara, Juxtaposition. Actually, playing Zo first might be best because we don't really have anything to ramp into. Except the Hamon, but I think we can get away with not being too worried about that. That way we'll just do this, threaten this center mana. Sure. Since I have the Hamon Bladeseeker in my hand, I could probably just replace the Beastmaster. It does have pretty fun synergy with Inner Focus. I really wish I would have drafted, you know, maybe one more copy of Inner Focus. That would have been like made this deck really strong. We do have a chance of getting one from this battle pet. I included it just because, you know, it's a nice turn 1 play. Sometimes it gives you a crazy discounted spell. Damn, okay. We'll get rid of the Beastmaster. Mistdragon Seal. Yeah, and because this is a battle pet itself, then it'll just trade next turn, so I'm not worried about it. I'll get my card either way. Yeah, so I guess we'll just take this opportunity to play the Katara in a somewhat safe space and hold the Phoenix Fire for removal. We don't need to do anything drastic for now. And we'll still have space in our hand for the spell that he draws for us. Phoenix Fire. That's not bad. A 1-mana Phoenix Fire. Really making me feel comfortable with my choices in this matchup. Got the Beastmaster in our hand again. Wow. So you just drafted all battle pets, huh? I'm glad he went for the synergy. Maybe he has like a calculator or wow. Oh, well, Astral Flood is going to give him a bunch of battle pets, of course, but Playing the Bladeseeker on curve is probably correct here. Or, if I replace this Juxtaposition and get it in Inner Focus, this Beastmaster will just completely wreck shop. So I think we're going to go for it. Okay. Because, I mean, there was a chance of a blowout there. I could also do Blazehound, Phoenix Fire, this thing. I'd have to do it reverse. I have to Phoenix Fire and then Blazehound. No, because then I'd burn a card. So we're just going to play the Hamon Bladeseeker instead. Boom. And then kill this thing. Why not? The Ray will trade into the Hamon Bladeseeker and dispel its negative effect. My god, that's so good. That's twice now that we've gotten Hamon without the downside. Trades into those battle pets. It's still sitting on the board as an 8/5. Good golly gosh. We are just tearing it up right now. I think the secret to Gauntlet, you do need to be aware of what your deck's strong win conditions are, but just like proper positioning you see here, I'm just like really exploiting my opponents. They're playing a lot of battle pets. And just knowing like what cards to grab, and it is really important to keep in mind when you're playing Gauntlet that your deck is only 30 cards. So your deck, you're going to be drawing, right? You don't want to. Normally, drawing just drafting those 3 Kataras like I did wouldn't be enough to give me a consistent early game, but because I only have 30 cards, those Kataras plus everything else I have at my disposal is enough. So I can actually Mistdragon Seal the Katara and then blink the Hammond Bladeseeker. This takes no damage from generals. What did he give it? Physical... Oh, he gave it astral phasing. Then I can just double Phoenix Fire this thing, so I actually have enough. Because I got that discounted Phoenix Fire from the Zoe. Yeah, so just kill this thing. Don't even care about it. Get the backstab. Next turn we're going up to 6, so I'll hold on to the Gorehorn because we can go 3-drop, 3-drop. Juxtaposition, yeah, so I can just, whatever he plays to try to body block, I just swap it out of the way. Holy crap, I'm like getting all of my, I feel like I'm getting all of my stuff right when I need it. Having a 30 card deck just makes your hand so consistent, I swear. And we've got a lot of really solid mid-game as well. In Gauntlet, having, you know, it's, you don't get punished as hard for not necessarily having a strong opening, right? Because you can just play high-value mid-game things that your opponent has trouble removing. And if they have to trade their board into something really threatening in order to remove it, see, look, I can just get the backstab again. I could even be really, really cheeky and like swap this obelisk out, but I don't need to do that. So we'll just play the Gorehorn and the Blazehound. I guess we'll slap that. A really strong card for Gauntlet might be the Dust Wailer, because it has, because of the way its opening gambit works, it's a 6 mana card that just deals damage in a line. That's exactly how Laser Kitty used to work. Back when Scion's Third Wish used to give, instead of +3/+3 and flying to a dervish, it would give +3/+3 and blast to any unit. It didn't have to be a dervish. It could just be neutral or whatever. So whatever minion Vitruvian managed to stick to the board became this enormous threat that would just dominate the board state, right? Because it would get blast, and it would become tankier and harder to remove, and then it would just start blasting you from a range. Well played. And Dust Wailer does the same thing, where using that combo, you used to be able to play the Saberspine Tiger and then hit it with Scion's Third Wish, and it had Rush, so then it would just deal damage in a line. Okay. So he ended his turn to let me backstab him. What a swell guy. That's something you don't see very much either. People intentionally ending their turn so that you can deal the death blow, instead of just conceding when they know that they've been beat. So we're right now we're up to 20 minutes playtime. That's skipping the draft, which probably didn't take too long, I hope. But yeah, we're on a really nice streak here. Holy moly.
Versus Songhai.
And I really want to emphasize, I'm pretty sure that I got like a really lucky, strong draft, especially based on what I'm seeing. Now that my win rate is like, what, 3-0 now, I'll probably start running into the other crazy, ridiculous drafts that people were getting. How important is Zen Rui in this matchup? I can actually play Wings of Paradise on the mana and develop the Katara as well. Then I could inner focus the Wings of Paradise, replace. That seems actually really insane. Orion Bear. I feel like I should clear that But because this is Gauntlet, I don't think my opponent is going to have too much Vesper synergy. You know what I mean? Like, the worst case scenario would be me doing my thing and then getting hit with the Bone Chill barrier, right? If I play the Wings of Paradise, well, I mean, I can clear it. There's no reason for me not to. Or, actually, we're gonna do something really cheeky. We're gonna inner focus this Wings of Paradise. I'm gonna keep the sun, well, I'm gonna keep the Sun Elemental, I think, for next turn. And what we'll do is fly the Wings of Paradise over here. So check this out. We deal our 5 damage, right? We take a fifth of our opponent's health. And now, you see, he was like, you would either have to trade the Borean Bear, or, but he decided to go for that mana and then take 3 more damage. So we got to do 8 damage. We each have a 1/3. Mine is a bit more dangerous. Unfortunately, the Katara, I played it here to be a bit safer. But had I played it here, I could have ramped up to 5 mana and just dropped the Inquisitor Cron and won the game. I'll probably replace the Maw. I won't be getting max value, but I think developing the Sun Elemental might be pretty decent. Or actually, I'll just play the Maw, hit it with my General, probably replace the Sun Elemental. So that way, I can play it next turn. If I don't play the Sun Elemental, then I can develop it and hopefully hit the Maw and the Katara, right? But yeah, because I can just play the Maw, float 2 mana, and then just have a really strong follow-up. I hope I didn't get that glitch where the where it freezes and then it like the turn timer like ticks down, but it's really my turn. Yeah, I'm gonna reload the page. I've had that happen before, where your opponent your opponent ropes and then it doesn't switch turns, and what it does is your opponent takes their turn, but then it desyncs and you can't see it, and then you're waiting around for your opponent to take their turn, but then yeah, see, holy crap! Play Kron, play Kron! Woo! Oh, shit. My god, I panicked. He can do Warbird and then just use his ranged guys to take out Kron for free. Damn, damn, damn. But yeah, damn glitch. So what it looks like happened is, how did the Katara die? How'd the Katara die? I guess it just, when it was roping like that, it was actually my turn. That's really shitty. So now I got a whole mess to deal with. Okay, so Blistering Scorn helps us out of this pinch a little bit. Whenever this minion takes damage, okay. Blistering Scorn also procs on the Lantern Fox to give me another Phoenix Fire. So what that does is it forces him to use the Fire Spitter to one-shot the Lantern Fox, so I don't get 2 more copies of Phoenix Fire. Oh wait, I'm down to 10. Let me see. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck. Never mind. That's weak! Skip the whole turn. That's rough. And I've had that happen to me before on the ladder, and I kind of detected it, right? When my opponent was roping, I kind of felt that that was the issue, but I wasn't able to get another turn.
Songhai.
Ugh. If I'd realized it sooner, that's super... I'm, like, really tilted now by that. That is so frustrating. So going first, we can just summon the Widowmaker. Zenrui's probably really good against Abyssian, so I guess I can just hold on to it. We'll replace the Katara, just so we can get maybe a bit more variety. Or... yeah, see what we can get. Gorehorn. Interesting. So I can actually just go Gorehorn Katara going first here. Okay. And I played the Katara down here. Oh, he's gonna kill it anyway. I was gonna say, because I want to avoid the 2 damage from his general, because I knew that Ooze would possibly create Shadow Creep under him. I could try to fish for a 2-drop here. Because I want to pick up a mana tile. But Zenrui, I feel like, can just blow out the game for us. Developing the Widowmaker probably isn't as important at this particular stage, so I think we'll just deny this mana. It might have even been better to step up and deny this mana instead. That way we can deal with this Dream Gazer, and then his general just steps away from us for now. Dark Transformation's not that bad either, because he paid 5 mana to deal with our 4 mana guy. Cool. Play the Maw. Kill him. Then we step up, kill the Dream Gazer. Then we get to develop a Widowmaker. And our follow-up turns are going to be really strong. If he plays something with 2 or less attack, we just get to kill it. We get to steal it, I mean, and that's a huge tempo swing for us. Night Hour Assassin. Oh. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I think I'm actually going to Zenrui this guy. And then, since I have the mana, we'll blink this Oni that I stole, reposition it here. That protects the Zen Rui from General plus Wraithling hit. Actually, the Wraithling wouldn't have been able to get around anyway, but... whatever. What you gonna do? This, actually, what it does as well is because this is a battle pet, it'll put it next to the General to just do its thing. Ritual Banishing to take out Zen Rui, that's not too big a deal. And we do have the War Talon, actually. So my opponent traded his whole board and 3 mana and a removal spell and his whole board to deal with a 4/3 and a 1/1, which is fine by me. Nice. So now I can backstep, kill this Wraithling, Dancing Blades. There's a chance that he has like another Ritual Banishing or something, and that would be really punishing. So, what if I Phoenix Fired this Wraithling to keep from getting blown out by Ritual Banishing? Okay, that's really silly. That looks really silly, right? But what that does is it keeps him from buffing that Wraithling to kill the Dancing Blade somehow or use Ritual Banishing easily. Since he has 7 mana, Ritual Banishing costs 3. It forces him to use maybe 4 or 5 mana now to kill the Dancing Blades. There's also a chance he could have moved the Wraithling away and then played like a ranged unit or something. Nice, and we're at 8 mana. So I can just Mistdrag and Seal the Dancing Blades down. To kill the Blood Moon Priestess. And then just play the War Talon there. Nice. Turns out Beefy Provoke actually helps us in the long run. And if he didn't have removal last turn, he might not have it this turn. Ephemeral Shroud? I'm actually okay with that because I still have a 4/9 on board. It does allow him to get a really nice trade, though, with the Blistering Scorn. Thorn Needler. This is not too bad. Play the Blaze Hound. We get the Inner Focus, which doesn't help us at this particular juncture. What I should have done is replace the Inner Focus. Kind of greedy. I should have replaced it and then hoped to get something else to play for my mana that turn. But the Inner Focus is going to do work if I can get, like, if I can just bide my time, draw a few cards, and then get, like, Beastmaster or something. Since I only have 1 copy of Inner Focus, I'm exchanging some upfront value for the ability to just do work in a 1 turn with, like, a really serious burst. Things are getting kind of down to the wire because he has all these Wraithlings and whatnot. The Hamon Bladeseeker might be nice as an 8/8, but I think since I'm at 14 health, I don't want to start burning myself because he can just kite back and body block me. He can just jump block me. I can one-shot the Sojourner with Wings of Paradise Inner Focus. Actually, no, because I replaced into it, so we'll just develop that back here since it's free. Double Inkhorn Gaze. And the Sojourner's actually going to get a lot of value here. So maybe picking up a Ghost Lightning was the correct idea there. Man. Now he's actually getting a lot of card draw. That's really scary for us. Visitor Kron, which we replaced into, unfortunately. Actually, we can't get the spawn from Kron. But this guitar is in a really nice spot. It kills the fog and survives, and then eats 2 Wraithlings. So having a 1-mana 1/3 is pretty decent for dealing with the Wraithling Swarm. Or I should say Shadow Spawn, the swarm of Wraithlings. And Kron now, you see he's got really huge hand advantage on me, but because he only has a bunch of weak units developed, he might not be able to deal with this appropriately. And if even with 5 cards in hand, if he can't somehow deal with this one turn, ooh! Death Watch +2/+2, so that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, +10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he have 1 damage to kill the Kron? Because if so, that's lethal. Or another buff spell for this thing. Wow, that's really enormous. Holy crap! I got wrecked. Not too shabby. So that shows us the power of getting screwed by a glitch and me not taking that Ghost Lightning. That really could have saved us there. But we're going to cut the video now, and maybe we'll pick up this Gauntlet run. I think it's really good that we're probably just going to go 3-3 or something, so we can get a better idea of what lower rewards are going to be. And as I said, not a professional Gauntlet player, but I think I did pretty decently there. So thank you for stopping by today, and I will see you next time. You have a good one.